Our next review sees us hopping over to Apple TV Plus for Palmer. After 12 years in prison, former high school football star Eddie Palmer returns home to put his life back together and forms an unlikely bond with Sam, an outcast boy from a troubled home. Let's take a little look and listen to a clip.
Excuse me, just left these. My friend Emily gave me this. Every time she gets a new doll, I get one of her old ones. Her dog chewed this one up. But it's still okay. She just has to hop a little. See?
You know you're a boy, right?
Yeah.
Boys don't play with dolls.
Well, I'm a boy, and I do. See you later, Palmer.
So that was a lovely clip from Palmer where we see Justin Timberlake and Ryder Allen exchanging an interesting conversation. And I think that clip really sums up our two main characters. We've got Justin Timberlake, who plays Palmer, and Ryder Allen, who plays... Is it Sam?
Yes, it is
Sam. And Justin Timberlake's character is this former college sports star who's ended up doing, I think it was a 12-year stretch in prison, which is a long old time behind bars. We won't say what for. That is revealed in the film, and it is revealed well, I would say, because we're tense. We're like, damn it, I want to know why he was in prison. But the director is like, no, we will wait for that, and we will, we will reveal that in the right time. I went into this film completely blind, which I'm trying to do more often. Didn't watch a trailer, didn't read a synopsis, and the first thing I would say about this film is I really, really liked it. The thing that popped out for me was that it had a very good script, a very good script indeed, and it's a very script-heavy piece. There is a lot of drama, but the drama is word heavy. So we see arguments, we see quite in-depth conversations, and the performances as well. Justin Timberlake, big fan of his music when I was growing up. Just thought I'd plug that.
What, was it NSYNC?
Was it what?
NSYNC.
No idea.
Well, you never know. What, Justin Timberlake was in NSYNC, wasn't he?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure. You'll have to Google
Well,
that.
you can't be that big of a fan then.
Well, I was a fan of his solo work. Damn it! I could see Craig on Zoom just tapping away on his computer.
He was in NSYNC.
He was okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't that big of a fan then. I liked it when he went solo.
Okay.
So, like I said, very good script. Really interesting story. I've got lots of thoughts, but what do you think, Craig? Did you go in? Had you watched a trailer? Had you done a bit of research? Were you expecting big things?
I hadn't done any research whatsoever. I like to go into these films completely blindfolded almost, and I enjoy watching films as although it's a fresh thing, and it's beautiful when a film surprises you, because you're going to have preconceptions about films. You look at it, you see you got, it says Palmer, you see that it's got Justin Timberlake in it, and you assume that it's going to be a pretty decent film, but how good? I don't know. And then you get into watching it, and a beautiful story blossoms on screen. It's directed by Fisher Stevens, who is known to the small and big screen as an actor. This is his directorial debut in terms of a feature film or fiction film, and it's and I think it's a pretty great directorial debut, if you ask me. It's one that I've literally watched today, of the day of recording, because time is of the essence for me, and being able to get all these films in is incredibly difficult. And it's not one that I rushed. I still watched it at a decent pace, and I think that the film equally has a decent pace as well. And I think Justin Timberlake is the perfect person for the role in this film. He is able to carry himself as somebody who can, I don't know, he can portray himself as one of those lads who, he's a pretty boy who can get all the girls and all that sort of stuff from like comedy movies that he's been in before. And then we sideways it into a film like this, where he's actually capable of showing this other side of him, where he's a tough guy. He's, he's good looking, rugged, and able to portray somebody who has a great character arc, somebody who's able to come to terms with something that maybe he's not quite overly familiar with, and is able to accept this person, Sam, for who he is, and simply he is a child. But as you heard in the clip, he's more than just a child. He's somebody who is very feminine. He likes to play with dolls. He's considered somebody who is interested in girly things, and it's to the outside world in the town where our characters reside. It's seen as something that could be, he gets a lot of things aimed at him in a homosexual, or not homosexual way, but a homophobic way. I get my words out right correctly there. And it's really upsetting to see somebody of his age and like just his age simply being taunted for the way he carries himself and the way he is. And people should be allowed to carry themselves whichever way they want, especially when they're that age. Yes. And I think the journey that our characters go on here is simply beautiful. It really, really is. And I'll allow you to come in here.
Yeah, no, it is a really interesting journey because Justin Timberlake comes out of prison. He stays with his grandmother, and it's actually on their land, on the grandmother's land, where there's a trailer which has Shelley in, who's played by Juno Temple. She's Sam's mother. And when Timberlake comes out of prison, he's a very macho man, like you said. He's just come out of jail. He was a former college sports star. He seems to drink an extortion amount of beer, and he likes a whiskey too. Gets in a fight in the film. He's willing to stand up for what's right. And they form this really unexpected relationship, and Justin Timberlake's character becomes very accepting of him and almost protective. And I do think Juno Temple as Sam's mother gives a great performance. Unfortunately, she is addicted to drugs. They don't specify, but you would imagine crack and heroin, that kind of stuff. And we see her in the film vanishing, often disappearing for a couple of days, or in this case, what seems like a couple of weeks or maybe longer. And it's up to Justin Timberlake's character to look after Sam. And the way they bounce off each other is brilliant. Justin Timberlake gives a great performance, but it's Ryder Allen, for me, who plays Sam, it's one of my favourite performances I've seen. I don't know how long to say for, but for a long time.
Is it really? Because
yeah,
I'm sure you've said this about some other films of recent.
My favourite performance from a young actor.
Okay, different category.
So possibly, Helena Zengel's been nominated for all these awards. Ryder Allen, if he can produce performances like this consistently going forward, remember the name Ryder Allen, he's going to be very, very special. And they're able to act well because there is a good script. The film is also incredibly well paced, and it really pulls on the heartstrings. And I wanted to bring you back in here, Craig, because it did remind me of Hillbilly Elegy in many ways.
Yeah, you do get that essence of Hillbilly in there, don't you? In that sense,
yeah.
But it takes away the aspects of storytelling that Hillbilly Elegy was not quite so perfected, I suppose. This film allows you to watch it in a different narrative way. It's very linear. It doesn't flip between the different times. It allows us to get to know the characters from the start when they meet, all the way through to their ending when you get a complete arc here, and it's not one that zigzags all over the place. And for that reason, that it feels much more comfortable to watch.
Totally agree.
One thing that really shocked me when the film started was having June Squibb open the door to Justin Timberlake. I was like, oh, I know you. You were in Hubie Halloween the last time I saw you. I thought she was hilarious, but also brilliant. I mean, one scene where she's sitting in bed and Palmer goes in to say goodnight, and she's sitting in bed saying goodnight, smoking a cigarette, and
Yeah.
it made me laugh. It made me chuckle,
Yeah.
and I really connected with Vivian, June Squibb's character in this film.
Yeah.
A lot more than I did with Hubie Halloween any day, and I think it's testament to just shows you how certain films really are able to mold these actors and actresses into the characters that they need to be.
Yeah.
And I think our director here has enabled these actors to really blossom, and he's done a great job of getting Ryder Allen to be the person that he needs to be in this film, to embody the character that we need to see. And he's got Justin Timberlake playing it so well. He's subtle when he needs to be subtle to allow Ryder to shine through. And yeah, just really perfectly. Is that even a word? I'm not sure.
New words with Craig Fields.
I mean, it's usually you who generates the new words.
Yeah, I just make stuff up.
It's a perfectly timed performance in terms of when each character comes in and bounces off each other. And
Yeah.
I loved it. I really, really loved it.
Yeah, I would say that comparison to Hillbilly Elegy, obviously, like you said, you've got June Squibb playing Vivian, which is the grandmother. You can compare her to Glenn Close's character in Hillbilly Elegy. But for me, this is a more real piece than Hillbilly Elegy. Hillbilly Elegy felt very over the top and over dramatized. This felt much more honest, genuine. Not like a documentary, but I really felt like this was really happening. And I didn't feel like, for example, with Hillbilly Elegy, I felt like I was watching Glenn Close and Amy Adams try and win Oscars. That's what Hillbilly Elegy felt like to me. Whereas this film felt like I'm there, I'm invested. This is really happening, and I'm a fly on the wall. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it really, really was. Any other points you'd like to pick out and discuss, or would you like to perhaps ask some questions?
No, it's a very meaty piece. Lots of social, political, and religious commentary. Loads of meat on the bone here. Well worth a watch. So yeah, I think I'm. Would you like to ask me the question?
You know what? I've just thought of something else to say.
Brilliant.
To discuss. Apple TV Plus. Is this the place? Is this the right home for this film? Does it suit Apple TV Plus?
I mean, I'm not sure how to answer that. All I would say is, sort of answering the question, but I think this film deserves to be watched by as many people as possible. So is Apple TV Plus the right home for it? Maybe not, because the number of people who have Apple TV Plus is, I would imagine, less than people who have Netflix and Amazon Prime.
I mean, I would imagine so as well, but all the people that are buying new Apple devices, they're getting Apple TV Plus free for a year. And I reckon actually there's a lot of people who have Apple TV Plus and don't realise that they have Apple TV Plus, and because they haven't signed up for it. And also, I think Apple are really biding their time, picking the right pieces to suit their streaming platform. They're not just filling it with anything and everything, which has done, a good job for Amazon and Netflix for a long time. It's enabled them to build a very large catalogue of films and movies, and also a large collection of users. But is this film suitable for Apple TV Plus? I think absolutely. I think we've got Cherry coming out soon with Tom Holland in March, and we'll definitely be reviewing that one.
It's a big one.
It certainly is a big one, and it's going to be great. And I think, we had On the Rocks, we've had numerous other really big films. Another Tom Hanks film. Can't remember the name of it. Can you remember it? Destroyer comes to mind for some reason. But
no, he plays a naval captain.
Yeah, we've reviewed it.
Oh, damn it. I can't remember. That's really going to wind me up.
Oh, is it?
Let me see if I can find it.
Really?
Nope, I can't see it on Apple TV Plus, so I'm going to have to give up.
What? You can't see it on Apple TV Plus?
I've got Apple TV Plus up in front of me right now, and Greyhound, there you go.
There you go, Greyhound. I don't know why I thought Destroyer, but I mean, they do have submarines that destroy boats.
Yeah, Greyhound. Again, when we reviewed Greyhound, we said that it was worth getting Apple TV Plus just for Greyhound. So now you've got Palmer on there as well.
Yeah, there's a lot more stuff coming up over the next few months, and I think big things as well. And I think don't ignore Apple TV Plus because it doesn't have as much content on there. Definitely give it a go. There are 7-day trial day period things. I can't even talk again. That you can pick up for free. Just go on the app and you can sign up if you haven't already, and you can watch these films for free for 7 days. So they're pretty decent in that sense.
On the Rocks as well.
On the Rocks as well. Yeah, I did mention that.
Bill Murray got a Golden Globe nomination, by the way.
There you go. So they are picking the films, aren't they? They're picking them. They know what the quality is. They've got an essence about them that matches Apple's sort of what their feelings are for these sort of films.
Yeah.
Anyway, David, I was going to say On the Rocks, but it's not On the Rocks. Palmer.
Greyhound. Sorry.
Palmer. Is it worth it?
Yes, Palmer is 100% worth it. Directed by Fisher Stevens, he does a great job. Written by Cheryl Guerrero, I think the screenplay is superb. But for me, it's Ryder Allen, this young actor who plays Sam. His character is so sweet, so engaging, so lovable. You just want him to get a safe home and be able to develop into the person that he can and will become. Justin Timberlake's great. It's a really, really good film and 100% worth a watch. Craig, for you, Palmer, is it worth it?
Yes, this film is definitely worth watching. I'm actually in the mood to watch it again because I really was moved by this film. And when a film is able to move you so emotively and really picks the right social and political moods for a film that isn't going to be too heavy, but also really makes you feel joy in your bones, in every single fibre within you, that's definitely when a film is worth it. So yes, Palmer on Apple TV Plus right now is definitely worth it.